Hello, hello to Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or major zodiac sign, like Leo placements here, whatever is resonating, whatever makes sense for you if you're drawn to this video and watching it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get the energy for Leo for 2023 here. So this is my yearly reading. I try and do the Kim Krans reading, as I call it, or the Wild Unknown reading, because these are all decks by Kim Krans. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to get a card from the Archetypes deck. This is going to be the energy overall, the theme energy, the major theme that's playing out in this year in whatever, in various ways, in subtle ways, in big ways. It changes sign to sign so far from what I was seeing. So that's the overall energy. And then we are going to get a card after that from the Alchemy deck and see how this energy, maybe specifically the theme energy, is changing and progressing through your life. Maybe there's another energy that's progressing or changing. Alchemy is all about transformation, changing one thing into another. And it might be the energy that you're coming into, it might be the energy you're leaving as the year progresses. It changes again sign to sign and kind of what energy is present, and it ties in maybe more specifically with specific times or quarters of the year, because then after that, once I get our two major theme cards of the year for you, Leo, we're going to break it down with the tarot deck here, the Wild Unknown Tarot, and get a card for each quarter of the year. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So one card for each quarter here, and see how the year breaks down a little bit more within these themes that the Alchemy and Archetype is giving us. And then we're going to get a clarification card from the Animal Spirit deck. So sometimes this ends up being advice for the quarter specifically. It gives maybe more context to the energy of the quarter that the tarot is presenting us. That varies a little bit person to person, and maybe how you're reading it, and also how the spread is going to be read. It's changed so far depending on how each of the signs has been progressing and changing. So I'm really curious to see how this pans out for you, Leo. So let us get started now. We're going to get our major theme cards first. So we'll get these guys off to the side here and start with Archetypes. Okay. Archetypes for Leo for 2023, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or major Leo placements, those watching today. What is the theme for Leo for 2023? The theme for Leo for 2023. Too many. Okay. Theme for Leo for 2023, please. You want that one? The mentor? Okay. Mentor energy. Okay, Leo. So mentor energy. Whether you're the mentor, you are getting mentor, that will be what we are going to look at a little bit deeper here. So what is the theme of the year? So get Archetypes out of the way. Let's get our Alchemy card now. Okay, Alchemy card with mentor here for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo placements, those watching today. How is their energy changing and transforming through 2023? How is Leo's energy changing and transforming through 2023? Okay, cool. We'll keep the upright one. So rotation. Interesting. I'm super curious, Leos. This Alchemy is a little bit of a newer deck for me, so I haven't seen a lot of the cards in the deck yet. So rotation's one I haven't seen before, so I'm excited to learn more about it today with you. So our theme cards here. So here's a good look, close-up look at rotation. Obviously, we've got that spider there, that kind of webbing, and a theme of movement potentially is what I think of when I think of rotation off the bat. But here's our two major theme cards for you, Leo, for the year for 2023. I need a center alley. There we go. Okay, so mentor and rotation. So let's get a little bit closer, deeper look at this now, okay? So looking into the energy of your year here, Leo, right? So the mentor, of course, the mentor being our teacher, our guide, our guru, our sometimes that parent is usually our first teacher, right? But usually eventually we seek a mentor outside of the parental structures, the parental figures, because that helps our overall growth and progression and evolution forward in ourselves, right? The mentor, whether or not you are the mentor or being mentored, this energy can change and flow through that as well, right? As we are older, we are giving advice to those that are younger than us potentially. If we have younger siblings, younger friends, younger coworkers, we can fall into a mentor role very easily, but we have to make sure if we are being called to be a mentor to others, to be that teacher, to be that leader, that we are doing it in the proper way here, that we are doing it where we are not lording our knowledge over others. We are offering the knowledge freely and happily and productively when the knowledge is ready to be understood, right? The way the book describes the mentor energy here is the teacher holding back the dam of knowledge and letting the student sip from the spout, right, in a controlled manner, right? So if you think about all the knowledge behind a dam, and then we have that spout on the dam that can be open and closed, right, turned, so that way the water can flow and the teacher controlling that, the teacher being the dam, so that way the student does not get overwhelmed by everything all at once, right? You think about this in terms of life and our parents, right? Our parents hopefully protecting us from the harsher realities of the world until we have a little bit more understanding and are ready to handle them, not letting bad things happen to us too young that they can potentially prevent. We can't do everything, of course, obviously that's not how life goes, but doing their best to take care of us in the ways we need to be taken care of until we're ready to handle things and preparing us to handle those things eventually in the world, right? That's the mentor energy here. But then the energy of rotation, our changing energy, our alchemy energy, what it's calling for us is that idea of mentorship and idea of being learning and growing, right, is also the at play in rotation here. This is one of the cards towards the end of the deck, and one of the like major alchemy processes it talks about. It talks about being the alchemist using the element of time in order to understand, right? There is constant rotation and movement through our planet. Everything is cyclical in nature. Things do repeat themselves, right? We have patterns, we have things we repeat and do often, right? Even me just like making videos, that's a pattern I'm repeating. That is constant rotation and movement. And the way we have those patterns and structures in our life can be beneficial or harmful to us as well, right? So the things we are learning about ourselves. And when we are trying to change things, it's important to look at our life and our situations and pay attention to the wheel, right? Pay attention to how things are moving, right? If we're trying to do something different, if we're trying to get a different result, then obviously we need to do just something different to start, right? We can't be in the same pattern, the same movement, the same energy going around in the circle if we're trying to get different results, right? It's like, okay, you do A, it equals B. If you do B, then it equals C, C to D, E to C, D to E, F, and then so on and so forth, right? And coming back around to A, and you repeat the pattern. And well, repeating patterns can be beneficial in learning our lessons, right? We don't often, our lessons are repeated to us if we have not learned them the first time. Eventually, if we want to get out of this energy, right? We feel like we're stuck, or we feel like can't do something different. We can't like get a different result despite us doing whatever we're doing. We have to do different things in order to change it, right? I think it's and the quote that's usually labeled to Einstein or something, where it's like, or the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? So that's the energy rotation calls into. And it's like, if it's not a bad thing if you have your routines and patterns that help you in order to achieve your goals, but if you're trying to do something different, you need to use your mentoring energy. You need to use the lessons that have been taught to you, maybe the lessons you're teaching others, teaching yourself, in order to help change things in your life. So an easy energy off the bat, actually, these tie really well into each other here for you, Leo. That is much easier to read than some of the other signs I've done so far. These energies tie in together pretty easy, where it's like, okay, you're learning things, you're paying attention to things, you're paying attention to your routines, the mentoring energy. There's an element of teaching and learning and growing here, of course. So let us now dive into your year a little bit more. We'll pull these up here so they're still in frame, and we're going to get our yearly breakdown now for you. Get the quarterly breakdown. So, okay. Wild Unknown for my Leos here, Sun, Moon, Rising, Leo placements. Those watching, what is the energy of their first quarter, January, February, March? Energy of the first quarter for Leo in 2023. is way too many cards. Okay, I will take the 10 of Cups, thank you. Two of Pentacles, good to know as well. I would not be surprised to see that. Okay. Lots of good abundance to start there with 10 of Cups. Okay. What is the energy of their second quarter, please, for Leos, April, May, June of 2023? Second quarter energy, please, for Leos. Okay, what's flipped in my hand here? Father of Swords in the reverse. Okay. He is staying hidden in my hand right there with the deck, so. Okay, third quarter energy, please. July, August, September for Leos for 2023. Third quarter energy, please. Third quarter energy. Okay, thank you. Reverse 10 of Swords. Or 10 of Wands. That is 10 of Wands. Okay. Swords and the Wands look so similar in this deck sometimes. Okay, and final quarter, please. October, November, December for Leos for 2023. That is not going to do. Okay. Fourth quarter energy for Leos, please, for 2023. Nine of Pentacles in, or no, yeah, Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. Get Wild Unknown up and out of the way now. Okay. Let's get our clarifying energy now with Animal Spirit. Okay. Animal Spirit deck, please clarify the 10 of Cups, please. More information for the 10 of Cups, please, for Leos. And you want that one? Okay. Turtle. Okay, cool. Clarification on the reverse Father of Swords, please. Reverse King of Swords, Father of Swords. For Leos for 2023, second quarter. Clarification on the reverse Father of Swords. Come on. Okay. Clarification on the reverse Father of Swords, please. Or more information about further. Thank you. Spider. Okay. Some spider energy for you for sure, Leo. Okay. Third quarter, please. Clarification on the 10 of Wands in reverse. More information on the 10 of Wands. Thank you. Hummingbird. And then finally, the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, please. Energy. Thank you. Tiger. Okay, Leo. So, first quarter energy, we have the 10 of Cups clarified by the Turtle. Second quarter here, so this January, February, March, April, May, June, we have the Father of Swords in the reverse clarified by Spider. And then June, July, August, we have the 10 of Wands clarified by Hummingbird. And then finally, in our last quarter, October, November, December of 2023, we have the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse clarified by Tiger. So, interesting energy, lots of color in this spread. Just definitely seeing the spiders are standing out here for sure. The spider in the rotation card, and then the spider in the sorry, that was my knuckle cracking, in our Animal Spirit deck. Of course, Hummingbird has a lot of color here. We see some rainbow coloring in our Father of Swords card, and then of course our 10 of Cups. So lots of interesting energy you're learning and progressing here through with 2023, Leo. So let's get a little bit closer look. Let's break down our year now and get into our first quarter here. So off the bat here, Leo, the first quarter of your year, of 2023, we got the Ten of Cups, always a great card to see when it pops out in a reading, and this one is very beautiful to look at for sure. And then clarified by our turtle energy here. When I think of turtle, especially now tying in with the Ten of Cups, I definitely think about the world turtle that you see like in Avatar or in some of the mythos that Avatar is based off of, Avatar The Last Airbender. So the energy of the turtle carrying the entire world on their back. So all the possibilities, all the abundance, the overflow, positivity, and love and energy really showing up here in the first quarter of your year with the Ten of Cups, right? So our turtle energy, and tying that in with our mentor energy and the rotation, right? Everybody has the ups and downs of life. One bad moment isn't a bad day in the whole grand scheme of things. One bad day isn't a bad year or bad life even. And we have those ups and downs throughout our entire life. Everything is changing and moving and growing. We're growing and learning. So we have times in our life where everything's abundant for us and really positive. And then we have other times where things are maybe a little bit more low and a little bit more challenging, and we have some struggles sometimes, right? And that's just how life goes and how life progresses and how we learn things, right? That is the way we learn life, the way we are, the way we grow, the way we are mentored through life, being mentored through those hardships, being mentored through those positive times too, right? The ups and the downs, the goods need just as much mentoring sometimes as the negatives might. The lessons are present either way for us at any given point in time. There's always lessons to be learned. And with our Ten of Cups here, right, you have lots of abundance and energy and movement right now, a good understanding of your life currently, and things are working out really well for you at this time usually. So you are paying attention to the abundance you have in like your friendships, maybe the overflow of love you have in your relationships or your family relations, right? You feel really loved and supported, or you're noticing those things and really paying attention to the wisdom of this time, right? With the turtle energy as well, paying attention to that energy, because there is much to learn from this as well, right? You being mentored through this time or mentoring others through this time. When we are in a positive mode, positive energy, a positive mindset, we can offer lots to others as well. And having that overflow of abundance of energy, we can give to others so much more. And with that turtle energy, turtle also is ancient wisdom and power tied really heavily into earth energy and water energy, because the turtle lives its life on both. And so being tied into our emotions, right? The cups, of course, are emotions, the element of water tying into our intuition, our feelings, our deeper internal self here, the feeling of that energy here with the turtle energy as well, being a water card specifically, but also being very grounded at the same time here. The earth energy coming in with turtle as well, because it does live its life on the land as well, and bringing in that energy of being grounded, grounding that energy into our reality as well. So through the concept of time, even with rotation here, right, we're just paying attention to the positive patterns in our life, that give us structure, give us stability, that help us stay grounded, that help us stay emotionally secure. And that's important to recognize as maybe we get into more challenging energy potentially in the later parts of the year here. So a great start, a great first quarter here for you, Leo, just off the bat. Of course, this will change vary a little bit depending on your day-to-day and the day-to-day life, right? Your day-to-day as you're living it through these 3 months here in January, February, March. But the overall energy, the overall theme, maybe when you look back on it as you get further into the year, or even in years past, once you're in the 2024, 25, 26 or whatever, you can maybe look at this time and look back and see the abundance that you had in your life, see the abundance all around you, and the wisdom that came from it with the turtle energy as you're learning and progressing through this energy, okay? Then we move into our second quarter of the year here with the Father of Swords in the reverse, clarified by the spider here. So April, May, June, specifically for time of frame of the year. So for your second quarter here, Leo, right, the Father of Swords in the reverse and the spider energy, this is where I'm really seeing where the mentor energy, having a mentor, is potentially going to be beneficial to you, right? So Father of Swords, a very powerful figure, very powerful energy, usually in the upright, being very decisive, being very clear of mind, having clarity of thoughts, knowing their next move, knowing where they're going to progress and move forward, right? And especially we have the owl here. And This energy, however, coming in the reverse, though, that's where we're lacking a little bit of that clarity. We're lacking the decisiveness that this King of Swords would usually have, the Father of Swords would usually have in the upright position. Because with Spider clarifying this energy here, we have so many options. We have so many ways to do things. We have so many ways to progress the situation, to change things, to move this wheel, this rotation in a new way that we maybe didn't perceive before. So while we have spider energy and we know we can weave our own web and create anything, we have anything and we can create anything, we have that all at our disposal. We don't quite know what we want to do with this energy, right? We have so much abundance that came in from the last quarter here, but we are not sure how to progress this energy. And we can even see, as I'm kind of getting a little bit further into the reading, how it might be overwhelming for us even. So with the second quarter here, we are trying to figure out our next move. We're trying to figure out what to do next. And that's where this mentor energy is going to be beneficial for you. Finding a mentor, finding somebody who has been in the same situation you have before, somebody older, not necessarily older, but wiser in certain areas that you trust, that is going to be beneficial to you and give you some guidance that you need in order to help this energy out here, in order to change things, where they can help you lay out the prospects and options available to you. You know, you can perceive them, you see them very clearly with this King of Father or King of Swords energy. You are able to see all those options, it seems like, because we do have the spider energy here. We just don't know what we want to create with the Father of Swords coming in the reverse. We don't know what we want to progress, what energy we want to build, right? We have so many ways our spider web can be made, but we don't know what web we're choosing in the end. So really trying to pay attention to that energy and look at things. We are trying to do things different here, right? That's this rotation energy. It's showing up in the reading here, right? Where it's like, okay, you know, you have all this abundance and beautiful options, all these things available to you, but we're trying to do new things and do different things, right? We're trying to challenge ourselves, trying to change up what we've been doing, how we want to do things. And that energy is present with rotation here. We're like, okay, so yes, we have this option, this option, this option, this option, this option. What do I want to do? What makes sense? What's going to be the most beneficial? What's going to still allow me to take care of my family, take care of myself? That is that father energy still present here, right? The father, that masculine paternal energy of taking care of themselves, taking care of others, being that guardian figure, right? Also, same with the mentor energy here. It's no coincidence we have owls both right here with these cards with our mentor and the Father of Swords, and then spiders here as well, right? This is where your themes really, really come into play here in your year, Leo, where both of these, like both of your major themes right here, are really showing up here in the second quarter in terms of even just visuals, right? We see them visually here with the owl and our spider and our spider. So this to this, pretty easy to understand, right? Where it's like, okay, hey, yep, Father Swords, we don't have clarity of thought, getting a mentor in order to help us, and then we are trying to weave this new thing. We're trying to change the wheel, turn the wheel in a new way that we haven't been before, because we're trying to break old patterns, old cycles. Maybe so we can learn something new. So we're trying to weave a new web. And it's really interesting to see, actually. I love when this kind of thing pops up in a reading, especially since we have similar energy across the deck for all the Kim Krans decks, of course. They're all created by the same person. So we have similar imageries and colors and themes and energies that come out. So I think that's really why I like to read all these cards together and created this reading, created the spread, because we do get this commonality of symbols across the spreads and across the readings here that really help give a better picture overall. So our second quarter here, taking what you already know, right? Journaling might be good at this time, making lists, talking with somebody is going to be super beneficial, right? Getting that mentor figure in so you can work through these things and then have a clear picture as you're moving forward. Leo is going to be super, super important for your year, right? So this energy really coming to a head here, it feels like in the second quarter of your year. So April, May, and June. A little bit before that summer, we're in that kind of like late spring, early summer energy, right in between here, that changing of seasons and progressing and seeing how that energy now will move into your last half of the year, okay? If we have clear decisions we come out of here with the second quarter, then this energy at the end might change, and I'll be curious to see. So let's get into the third quarter now. So we have our 10 of Wands in the reverse, clarified by the hummingbird. In your third quarter here, Leo, right, we have our 10 of Wands with the hummingbird, and it really presents another opportunity here for you to get some mentoring, to have help, right? So our 10 of Wands, a heavy burden to be carrying, lots of energy, lots of things on our shoulders, a lot of things that we're paying attention to, trying to hold on to, right? The original Rider-Waite imagery showing a man carrying those 10 wands and struggling with their burden here, and things being very tiresome and heavy, and we feel weighed down here. With it coming in reverse, though, it doesn't feel like the running away from our responsibilities. In fact, we're trying to, it feels like in the third quarter, figure out how to manage these responsibilities, right? Again, we are trying to figure out the next thing, the new way to build things, take care of things. From our previous quarter energy with the Spider and the Father of Swords in the reverse, we are trying to now work through all these burdens we have, all the weight on our shoulders. We're trying to work through that energy, release what we can, and manage the other things, right? So with hummingbird energy, clarifying this, the hummingbird super hard working, right? The hummingbird having to constantly feed itself in order to even just survive. Talk about a weight on your shoulder, right? That's a heavy burden in and of itself. But the hummingbird really is honed in on this energy and this diligentness of burden and power and weight and heaviness to it. But it's literally the tiniest, lightest bird that exists. Hummingbirds move through so gracefully, the movement of hummingbirds, but they really pay attention in order to make sure that they are able to feed their fast metabolism by knowing where their resources are, knowing where they can find those food supplies that they need in order to constantly feed themselves and take care of themselves. And the self-care here is super, super important here for you in the third quarter, Leo, paying attention to that energy, because our burden is so heavy, releasing what we can, taking care of ourselves so we can manage the burdens that we cannot release. And this is where our energy of the mentor and rotation also come in as well. The mentor energy here, where there's somebody maybe here that can teach you these things, that can help you release your burden, or help you go through your burdens, the things you're holding, and be like, okay, no, that you don't need to hold that because of this reason, this reason, this reason. Somebody who has the wisdom behind them that you do trust and trust their opinion on and if you're willing to listen to them, offer the advice for okay, you don't need this one, and this one, right? Because of these reasons. And you're like, okay, yes, that makes sense. Let me do that, right? Or they give you the options, they give you the resources, like the hummingbird, right? Where it's like, okay, this, you can't put down this resource, but here's how to do it better. Here's how to make it less burdensome to you, right? They're giving you the food supply that the hummingbird needs. The hummingbird's like, okay, hey, I need these flowers, blah, 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 and they need to be this close, right? So this mentor energy coming in and offering you those resources, or the knowledge of where those resources are, so you can lessen your burden here yourself. You can take care of these things, doing things in a new way that you hadn't previously thought of before, or changing things up, right? Where it's again, with that definition of insanity, where it's the same thing we've been doing over and over again, but expecting different results. So they're giving you the way to do things different. They're giving you the options to change things, to do things in a different manner, in a different way, that you maybe can't see because the burdens are so heavy, and we didn't have that clarity, right, from the last quarter of our year in 2023. We didn't have it in the second quarter here with the Father of Swords, so we don't have as much clarity as we maybe would have liked, enough perception and discernment energy. So that's where, again, that mentor comes in, that trusted person, that trusted friend, that trusted teacher, where it's like, okay, hey, you can't see this, I can see this, let me help you, let me tell you this so you understand, so you can do these things in a better way, change up what you're doing, turn the wheel in a different way so you can go a different direction finally. So another opportunity to learn and grow here, Leo, another opportunity to trust in that mentor energy. So despite challenging cards potentially being out here for you, Leo, that's how I've been reading it for a couple different signs, where it's like, here's a lesson, here's an opportunity to learn this lesson, right? And everything's a lesson, everything is an opportunity to learn and grow. That's just how life is, that's how life works. But you have the opportunity to really let this mentor figure into your life, or maybe multiple mentors. There's multiple people that can be fulfilling this role for you in different aspects. There's a person that you can offer you advice when things are going really, really well, and how to capitalize on that and grow this abundance more. There's somebody here who can be like, okay, hey, here's what you're missing. Here's how to build these things. Here's where to go about things in the new way, in a new different manner, that you maybe didn't see. There's that like knowledge that you didn't need, and taking that knowledge and giving yourself the opportunity to lessen your burdens, take care of things, consolidate your resources. That's kind of what that the energy is that's really present here for your third quarter here, Leo, is consolidating your resources. Hummingbird has their resources consolidated because they need to know where they are in order to keep themselves alive at the end of the day. They need to know where all that nectar is and all the different flowers, they go to those same ones and visit those ones and keep their resources situated very well so they can just survive and feed themselves because their metabolism is so fast. So consolidating your resources here so you can lessen your burdens, or take some of these wands away or lessen the weight of them overall. So things are just easier for you as a whole, doing things in a different manner that you hadn't done before. Really learning that element of time with the rotation card here, our alchemy card. Learning time, how time works, how time functions, how we can theoretically gain more time or make more use of our time, and weaving this energy through your entire spread, through your entire year, right? Because we do have a spider here and then spider here as well. And using your resources, right? If we consolidate our resources and use our resources, those resources are those mentor figures here sometimes as well, okay? So third quarter energy, I think, is a really strong lesson for you, a really good opportunity to do things in a different way that you haven't done before. And then we come into our last quarter here with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, clarified by the Tiger. Tiger, very, very strong energy. And the Nine of Pentacles here, it's like, okay, we're now trying to finally do those things different, but we maybe feel things are a little bit stalled. So let's get a little bit closer look now at the fourth quarter for you here, Leo. In the last quarter here, Leo, with the Nine of Pentacles here really feels like it's more talking about not being able to enjoy the fruits of our labor, right? We had so much burden that we were looking at in the last quarter here with Hummingbird and the Ten of Wands in the reverse, where it's like, okay, we're putting in so much time and effort. We actually need to finally take the time now to realize our worth, realize the amount of effort we've been putting in, and enjoy the fruits of that labor, right? We started the reading with so much abundance in the Ten of Cups here, right? The completion, the accumulation of everything, the celebration right before we start into a new cycle. And honestly, you've got worked through. You have a lot of completion energy here. There's 10s here as well. There's 2 10s. And then we have a 9 here, which is right before. And this is in 3 different areas of your life here, Leah. This is Cups energy, that emotions, the deeper introspection energy. The Wands really talking about our creativity, our fire, our passion, and then our Pentacles here, that physical reality, our earthly things, the career, the money, the physical reality. And while 2 of them are in the reverse here, there is still the abundance that exists, right? We have so many burdens, so many things we're paying attention to that shows up later in the reading with the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, where it's like, okay, you've been putting in all that work, right? It's that 70-hour work week, that those 2 jobs that you're doing all this work, putting in all this time and effort, and not paying attention maybe to the abundance that you do have, paying attention to yourself and your health, right? The Tiger energy here really trying to pull in more feminine, calm energy. The Tiger card specifically with advice is really that energy of calm at night, taking the second to like breathe and be in that energy of the nighttime, which is that stillness, that calm, that like deep breath, right? Look at our owl here in the Mentor card, just completely surrounded by this space, this nighttime energy, and taking the opportunity to just be in that space, fly through that space, move through that space. So in your last quarter of the year here, right, you've been putting in a lot of work. You have a lot of burdens that you've been working on and trying to change things and look at things from a new perspective here with our rotation card, our alchemy card. So we can only do things, we can only get different results if we do things differently, right? So we need to take the time now. Nine of Pentacles is asking us to be like, okay, hey, I've been putting in all this work. I've been putting in so much time and effort. We need to finally enjoy the fruits of the labor here. We need to actually enjoy the time we have, right? Again, the concept of time coming in with rotation here, the rotation card, where it's like, okay, the element of time and being in tune with that. So releasing the needs for particular outcomes, potentially that lesson we learned here with our burdens in the Ten of Wands, or reverse Ten of Wands in the previous quarter. Now in October, November, December, where we're like, okay, hey, let's pay attention. We know we have an abundance of things. We are worth the time and effort we've been putting into things. We are worth the achievements that we have accomplished here. We put in that time, we put in that effort. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse talks about self-worth as well, right? Our worth not being outside in the physical, right? Our worth being internal, right? All these 9 Pentacles being internal here in that black space, again, that nighttime energy. So it feels like for you, Leo, in the last half of the, like in this last quarter here, it's interesting. We kind of end on a tiger energy, a very similar cat energy to your own Leo energy, that lion energy. Not too far off, of course. But the variations are a little bit different here. Leo being the lion energy being a sun energy, more so that more masculine energy, and the tiger here being a little bit more feminine energy. We do see the moon on the forehead of the tiger here. So balancing that energy out, but there's still a heat there. There's still a passion there, but it's the sun during an eclipse, right? That's the imagery that kind of came to mind, is the eclipse energy here. So that allows us to look at things from a new perspective again, right? Looking at things in a different way, turning the wheel in a different way to get a different result. And there's an opportunity here to learn, to be mentored again, right? But this feels like being mentored by less obvious figures maybe, right? Not necessarily the older, wiser figure in your life, right? The guru, the teacher. It's being mentored by children, by your spouse, by plants, by animals, by nature. Other ways that we can be mentored and led and taught in a different way, right? There are energies different to our own, right? If you have much more masculine energy, you're being mentored by a feminine energy here, right? You feel like you're old, but being mentored by somebody young, right? There is a energy of paying attention to your counter, your opposite, maybe what you perceive as your opposite, looking at things again from a new perspective, moving the wheel in a different way so you can really hone in on your time and your worth, and placing down burdens that you have given yourself that you don't need. Really trying to incorporate the lesson of this last quarter, this energy of being that you were mentored in, where it's like, okay, hey, you don't need to hold this. You don't need to hold this wand, don't need to hold this wand, don't need to hold this wand. Here's your resources to make this one less heavy, right? But in the fourth quarter here, right, we maybe haven't quite integrated this lesson properly yet from our third quarter. We're still trying to figure out, right? We have so much work we're putting in, and not again enjoying the fruits of the labor. We're not enjoying the effort we've been putting into, right? We can be making all this money, for example, but if we're not there to spend it on activities we enjoy and things we like, then what's the point, right? There's not a point to it at the end of the day. Money is there for survival and taking care of us, but it also should be so we can live and enjoy life and learn from life, and getting those opportunities to be in life and learn new things and have different experiences, right? Not what's the quotes, right? Working to live to work. We don't want to live to work. We want to work to live, but not let work overtake our life. So tiger energy here, and comes more as advice versus clarifying the energy, giving clarification to the energy. There is a more secretive, subtle power here with tiger, but it's paying attention to your power in that way, where the power you do have, knowing that you can make different choices here, okay? Tiger is that slinking energy through the night, that hunter energy, powerful energy, right? You have so much power here with tiger. You just have to make the different choices, right? Deciding that you're going to enjoy what life has to offer you, that you're worthy of what life has to offer you here, Leo. So strong energy here for you for your 2023. Lots of good lessons you're learning and lots of good energy that I'm excited to see how it pans out for you, Leo, in 2023. So this is what I got for you. I hope this reading resonated for you. If it didn't, maybe there are other messages for you in some of your other signs, maybe your moon sign, if this is your sun sign, for example. But whatever you feel called to, but hopefully this resonated with you. Hopefully it made sense. I hope you have a wonderful 2023, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.